Welcome to Rich Conversations. This is another one of our Rich Reflections sessions where we're going to take about 30 to 50 minutes out of our day to simply just think more intentionally about it. And by doing this, we'll be able to kind of step back, gain a little bit more clarity so that we can kind of make moves in the direction we want to be headed. We'll start this session how we do every session, and that is 5 minutes of breathing. And what this is going to do is just kind of recenter ourselves. Whatever has been happening today, or maybe it's the morning when you're experiencing this, but we just want to clear our heads so that the rest of the session we can kind of proceed with an empty, open mind. So I set a timer for 5 minutes and try to sit up straight, and all we're doing is just breathing in and breathing out. Just focus on the breath. If thoughts come to mind, let them pass. This is all about the breath. All right. That was 5 minutes of breathing. How'd it go? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Was it relaxing, recentering? Hopefully the latter. So what we're going to do now is I'll pose some questions, do a little bit of color commentary, and we're just going to think more about life. But we'll start this session how we do everyone, and that's asking the question, what are we grateful for? Gratitude is the place to start. If you can always maintain a grateful disposition, the world is going to be a lot more enriching and rewarding and less stressful. What are we grateful for? Yeah. It's a beautiful yet simple question. Because when we focus on gratitude, a lot of times our problems just kind of fade away. And the lens in which we view these problems become rather silly or humorous. Okay, second one. What's a time... I feel like I've asked a question like this, kind of recent, and that's like a deadline that we've been really focused on and have really exhausted ourselves. That's something I've been kind of doing. This month has been so intense, doing tech consulting and field work on the farm. It's planting season, and then aiming to publish 3 books in 1 month. And I was working on I finished the second book, so 2 books are done. The third one, I'm just like I'm underestimating the effort required for it. I just need to put it together, but there's a lot of moving parts. And I'm just like, man. But when we're going through this, let's take a moment and kind of recognize patterns of what happens, like our diet. Do we neglect like eating healthy and sustainably? Does the environment around us get kind of sloppy, messy, cluttered? And then does that affect us? How about our personal life? Are we neglecting areas of our personal life that usually are considered important to us? I'm yawning. It's been a long day. I've been getting up at like 4 o'clock, 4:30 every single morning this month. Not totally. Certainly the last like week or so. And I record this at night. Anyways, boo-hoo, right? I like that focus, though. I do love that kind of balls to the wall attitude and approach. It's just like each day becomes so meaningful, and focused. I just know what I'm going to do. And this is where we're going to attack it. We're going to go all out, give our best. I like that. But what kind of patterns do we notice around it? For me, I've had these like lights set up because I've been taking photos of vinyl records with this like gray backdrop. And it's taking over the studio a little bit. My old writing desk, not my old writing desk, the writing desk I usually sit at is actually the like surface for this like product photography. And I got these lights and this big screen up. So I've noticed I've been at the office more, which then like other issues come up, and it's just like, it's not as like natural and free flowing like a river. Just like kind of disruption. So I'm energized to kind of resettle in. So what patterns do we notice in ourselves? What's something nice you did for someone lately? My brother-in-law's birthday was today, and I cooked him eggs the way I prepared them, which is kind of nice. It's like nice to give that way, because the eggs I make are great. Olive oil. We have chickens on the farm through other family members, and so we have fresh eggs. And then I use pink Himalayan salt, basil, Italian seasoning, and crushed red peppers. Well done. Yeah, it was fun to do that. It was good. What's a moment where we were putting a lot of effort in and we hit a wall, and we became aware that as a human being, our current approach will not complete this. I had something like that today, and I was just kind of like ticked off that I'm a human being, a biological creature, and not a machine. If I was a machine, I could like power through this. You know, I get where like if I'm on a computer for too long, I just get completely zapped. My energy, my eyes, just like my whole everything. But I still had like kind of plenty of hours in the day, or like wide open runway to use to keep going. And And also, I could have drank more coffee. I don't think that would have helped. I was actually quite disciplined with my coffee consumption today. I've been creating boundaries for myself. But no, like, what was something like that for you where you hit a wall and then we just kind of have to punt on this. We have to kind of accept this. And it's not like, no, I did feel defeated. Like, I was trying to get this book done. I was trying to put together this book by, like, tomorrow. I'm recording this one day, and the next day is when it was due at, like, 9 a.m. But, yeah, I was just like, I don't want this to get sloppy. I don't want this to get sloppy, so I'm not. And all of a sudden, this, like, stress disappeared. But then this, like, voice in the back of my head was like, darn. So it's interesting. But the only way that it would be frustration on my end for this particular thing would be vanity. Simply vanity, and that's all. Like, in my mind, I have something and I want to do that, and not doing it kind of disrupts my vanity. I've been thinking about vanity because we put out the picture of Dorian Gray, Rich Edition, and that book is a little about vanity. I think that's why I connected quite well with that book, because it does deal with a little bit of vanity. I guess that's an underrated classic book, The Picture of Dorian Gray. I connected with it, but I think most people don't, because it is kind of edgy, I would say. I did say that in the introduction. This book is edgy. Here's the question. You have 5 minutes to spare. What do you do? Now, I think for most people, they don't think about it. It's just like, just take out your phone and just, like, kill time on your phone. But there are other options. Before 12 years ago, there were more options. You had to figure it out. Maybe we could practice breathing, like we do here. Just 5 minutes. Let's just breathe. It doesn't seem like we're getting anything done, or we're not gaining new knowledge or whatever, but it's probably actually the best thing you can do for yourself. I would say the second thing would just be aware, just observe. And just be okay just sitting here, being present, kind of absorbing what's happening around us. I think that's a great thing. Pay attention to the colors, the smells, the sounds. The physical sensations. Crazy how often we ignore that. We can, like, tune out of our senses often, usually because we're in our heads, Like we're so in our heads that we don't experience and feel things that are, we're not sensing things around us that's happening. There was this really cool moment during this planting season where I worked up this field, this like 3 acres, this little patch, this little field of like 3 acres. And I passed it the next day, and there was a bald eagle just chilling in the middle of this field that I worked up yesterday. And I was just so proud. I was like, that bald eagle is in the field that I just worked up. It's very touching to me. I feel like bald eagles are really rare, but I've had 2 instances in 6 months with bald eagles. Hawks, I see a lot of hawks. I dig hawks, but bald eagles, that's special in my perspective. What's an animal that's special to you and interaction with it? I think a good answer, someone has said this to me before. I think it was Bryce Gunning. He's a marine biologist. I think he was in a boat and then a whale was under him. I think a humpback whale, or is it a blue whale? A blue whale would be terrifying. Especially if you're in a small boat. Whew. It'd be crazy. I feel like a lion. I mean, even in the zoo, when you're like face to face with a lion or a tiger, that's pretty cool. But like if you were out in nature on a safari or something, that'd be pretty neat. I was taking a walk in the woods the other day, and 2 deer ran out of the woods. I hear like rustling. I can tell the rustling, especially now that there are leaves in the spring, in the size of the animal based on the rustling. So oftentimes it's squirrels. I'll hear like squirrels. But these 2 deer, it was different. So I'm like, I'm never quick enough to get my camera out though. Hawks, yeah. I haven't seen, I was talking about it today. I haven't seen turkeys in a while, so the coyotes might be getting to the turkeys. I found this like really gnarly turkey feather the other day. I feel like something went down with that feather. But yeah, what's an experience, an interaction with an animal that is like kind of special? I had this moment, Yellowstone National Park. This was back in 2015. I did a solo trip out west, and I'm driving through Yellowstone, and we were going slow because this herd of bison was around, and there's this one bison that just like walked like past me on the car. Like if you're like stopped in traffic and you have like a yellow spotted line, dotted line, and then another car is able to pass you, or you're like a two lane, right? The bison just was chilling, just like another car passing me, and I swear, this animal was as big as my car, and it was really powerful. It was really cool. Elk next to the car. That's majestic as well. Yeah, animals. Speaking of that, what's it like something in nature we want to explore next? What national park would we want to explore next? Or, even more local, what's something underrated about where you live or the region where you reside? This next question, when was the last time you really took time by yourself and just reflected on life? Kind of take inventory of it. How did the last month go? How have the last 3 months gone? What about the last year? And then like really thought about life. We do this, but this is together, and these are just kind of some smaller questions, just to raise our awareness of our life and our actions, right? But what's something very I don't want to say tangible, not tangible, affecting, I would say, like very deliberate, very kind of black and white. Let's think about life, kind of make judgments on it, and then make decisions moving forward. Yeah. Okay, let's start rounding this out with what are we curious about recently? Curiosity. It's coming up on my mind lately. It's like being curious about the world, other people, and their interests. This third book that I've been working on that I'm talking about today is titled Scientific Curiosities in the New Millennium, Volume 1. It's kind of a compilation, a highlights reel of like conversations I've had with people in science fields on the podcast. it's been fun. It's really cool. Been really enjoying it, feeling really engaged and energized by it, which is a great sign. I do. It's like on the back of my mind, I got to get more guests on this podcast. And it's not just me doing these solo rich reflections, which I love doing. And I hope you enjoy participating and engaging with them too. Just a lot of moving parts, you know? All right. What are we energized for in the next week? What are we energized for in the next week? Follow the energy. Follow the energy. Bring the energy. Be the energy. Thanks for being here today. Hopefully my energy wasn't too off. It's been intense. It's been an intense month. Holy cow. But it feels also so good at the end. You know, it feels so rewarding, so fulfilling to be kind of at the other side of it and kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. It just feels so much more meaningful and have a swelling pride within me. So thank you for being here. We'll see you next time. Inspire the future.